Yorkshire Dales. Well, we're back out in the van again, straight after work on a Friday, to this really quite nice location, which I'll show you tomorrow morning, because it's when I say it's pitch black out there, it's absolutely pitch black out there. So I've turned up. It's probably about what time now? It's about 7:30. It's very, very peaceful, and outside occasionally I can hear an owl hooting away. The diesel heater's on just to take that little edge off. We're not exactly eating like royalty tonight. We're having a pot noodle and a can of John Smith's. We've got that curry powder strong. Welcome to Ellington Firth. Now, if you can imagine the most perfect park up, for me, would be somewhere remote, so you were dark skies, and then somewhere that was near the woodland or a river or a stream, and that's exactly what I've got here. The only sound we've got this morning are pheasants, birds, and last night was an owl. And it's not often that I actually find a place where I have a good night's sleep, and believe it or not, I only woke up once last night in the van, which has got to be an absolute record for me. Perfect parking, and I'll put the details of this further on in the blog if you want to go and get them. Just listen to that. Conditions are actually not that bad here. There's a little bit of mud when it comes to the ground, a few little puddles here and there, but barring that, it's actually quite good. Now, I think if you get here early enough, you'll probably get the two best spots, which are perfectly flat. There are a few little bits that are slightly off kilter, so if you've got any band ramps, it really will help. Let's go, Pep. Let's go. Find on the way down towards the bivouac that a lot of the roads are all single track like this. Well, you know what I mean when I say single track coming from a mountain bike, because obviously these were meant for horse and cart, these weren't meant for modern day traffic. So just be prepared that if you're coming down here that's any later than early morning, you're going to get into the old reversing and backing up and things like this. So I would recommend that you come nice and early, get the roads to yourself, nice and peaceful. I've been asked here on the channel quite a few times, when are you going to be doing mountain bike videos again? And the easy answer to that is, I'm not for the foreseeable future. Anyway, there are so many great mountain bike channels out there that I think that my content just got lost in the flood with everybody else's, and it really didn't stand out, hence it didn't really work. A vast part of that community was very toxic towards me, and I've talked about that on the channel. Some of the things that were said to me were absolutely horrific, appalling. That mountain bike community, I have made the best friends ever, friends for life, and that won't change. At the minute in my life, I'm just enjoying the solitude of being in the van, getting no sleep, hence the glasses. As you know, I don't sleep very well when it comes to the van. Channel at the minute is in a bit of a transition. I don't really know which way I'm going. Are you going down the van life? Are you going down the great outdoors? A combination of those two I would really love to do, but the mountain biking, unfortunately, is no more. I even considered getting rid of both the bikes, but as I said, I have made some of the best friends ever, and I probably will keep the bike for those. I'm not saying I won't do the odd mountain bike again in the future, but at the minute it's the great outdoors, van life, and just getting out there. And I hope you will stick around and support me through this journey, because I can't really do it without you. The pipe dream would be, in order to be able to get a few Patreons and build it up eventually over a few years and be able to give up work and travel and make more content. But I'm sure everybody out there wants to do that same sort of thing. But that's the pipe dream. That's what I really want to do, but I can't do it without your support. Anyway, there's some woods to get lost in. There's some Druid temples behind me. Let's go and have another look. So now you know.
welcome to the Druid Temple up near Massam. These were built by somebody called William Danby, who was a very wealthy landowner, and at the time there was a real unemployment issue in the villages around the area, and so he paid them £1 a day to build this, what he claimed was based off Stonehenge. As was fashionable over 200 years ago, Thomas actually hired a hermit to live in the hole in one of these walls, and he stayed there for 7 years.
Way down deep in the middle of the jungle.
The only stipulation was he wasn't allowed to cut his hair, he wasn't allowed to speak to anybody, and eventually he got sectioned, sent him slightly mad.
This table slab here supposedly has been used by the UK Satanic Society. People have found pigs' heads and blood on here. Now whether that's a myth to ham up the location and get more tourists to come here, I don't know. Now I know I love spooky things and have a real affinity for the past and medieval, and I just don't get a vibe here at all. Might be because I know a little bit about the backstory, but it just doesn't have that spiritual feeling for me. Maybe you come here and you feel completely different.
Many people who've claimed to do wild camping around here have said very spooky, strange things go on at night.
Way down deep in the middle of the jungle. Yeah, no, I haven't lost my marbles. There's some random instruments here in the woods. What I was going to say to you was, it seems to me that because last night I slept so well in the van, it's got to be a thing of sound. I didn't even have the dispatcher heater on last night. I thought I'll just wrap up in the sleeping bag. I was well toasty. I only woke up once, which is very rare for me. So it has to be silence. I think that's what it is. So whether I'm going to have to get some earplugs or maybe black out the eyesight on a night time, I don't know, because the woods were dark and it was just beautiful last night. All you could hear was the owls and the birds occasionally, and this morning was just like the crescendo, the orchestra of the forest. I absolutely loved it. So let me know if you're a van lifer or if you slept in your van, whether it has to be absolutely silent or do you need a dispatcher on that Death go. Sign me up. There is something fundamentally awesome, I think, about being in the woods when it's raining. There's just a certain atmosphere, and I always find it's the same thing when I go up to the Lake District. I like it when it's a little bit dark, grim and moody. But maybe that's my personality. I really do enjoy being out in the woods. A little bit grim, not the best for filming today. I might get some more, we'll see. I'll go back to the van. If it holds up, then I might go do some more. We'll see. We'll see. I was going to be taking you guys with me for a 4.5 mile hike here around the forest and up onto the moors, but it looks like the weather's going to be absolutely terrible now. The forecast has completely changed, as it does. If you've been to the Lake District, you'll know that it's got its own mini climate. 20 minutes later it's completely different, sunshine and whatever. Unfortunately here in Yorkshire we've gone from grim to grimmer. So I probably will knock this little hike on the head. It's not the best for filming. However, I am staying out for 2 nights and I might just... There's a logo on the bag. There's no logo on the bag. I was given this little mother to review. So I may look at this tomorrow. And what it is, it's not a tent. Well, it's kind of a tent. You'll find out in the next video coming on the channel, I think. I might have given it away when you've seen the label. But we will be looking at this little mother in another video coming real soon.
Watching the sunset on Tennessee hills. I wish I could capture it, I never will. 'Cause I'm not a painter, can't stay in the lines. Just sitting here sipping on dandelion.
to a garden centre here in Harrogate just for a coffee and a butty. £8. I know we say sometimes that when you're going to go out and do van life, it's all about saving money and things like that, but do you know what it is? I think I just need to get a lot more organised when it comes to food and clothing. And the thing that really bugs me about van life is storage. Now, the van life group, the people out there living in small vehicles, how it doesn't drive you insane. I drive myself absolutely insane. Like the lens cap, I put it down, I go to do something else. Go in my pocket. I'm sure I put it in that damn pocket. And then I'm rummaging around in the van. Where is it? Where is it? It was in that pocket. Just little things like I put my glasses up here and then I do something else. I get out of the van and then I knock my glasses out onto the floor, and it's just like all these little things just really, really annoy me about van life. Oh, I just feel like I haven't got enough space, but I can't complain. Anyway, you may have noticed here on the channel that occasionally we use torches. I say we, me, being me, boots on the ground. And I can't turn it off. I can't turn it off. Well, that's just great. That's another one. You may have noticed that I use a head torch. Now, I'm using this, which is the Phoenix. Let me get this right. There's a 65T. This is the 65T baby. This is the top of the range one. Because in my life, I may not have much money, but the money that I do have, I like to buy good things. Top of the range that I can get. Now, I can highly, highly recommend this head torch. It comes with one of those, I think they call it an anaconda, where you can twist it on the side to make it tighter. But the thing I like about this torch is that it has multiple levels of brightness, such as that's flood, but it also has 3 levels of spotlight as well, which is probably no good me showing you this in the van right now. But it's really, really comfortable, and the thing I like about this is it lasts a long time, and it's super, super bright. Now, the reason I think this is called a TR, not because it's ridiculously priced, is because a lot of trail runners use it. And this is something that I wouldn't mind actually getting into, being out on the moors, especially on a night time. That feeling of vulnerability of being out in Mother Nature is something that I'd really like to get into. Now, I hated running. When I was in Para, I absolutely hated running. They got us to do like 5 miles 3 or 4 times a week, and I suffered and I hated it. But eventually, your fitness gets to a certain level, and then as we came over the Carveley golf course one Tuesday on PT, I felt like I couldn't feel my legs. Not in that way, but it was like we were sprinting and I wanted to absolutely belt it for the last 1.5 miles, maybe a bit more. We're not talking 4-minute miles here, but you know when we're giving it some. And I really enjoyed it. It's almost like you don't feel your legs, you just get into a momentum. So I would love to get into fell running, trail running. So if you're into all that sort of stuff and you want to take an absolute noob, we'll probably run from here to the other side at car park and blow a lung out. Let me know how I should proceed and get into that, or where I should be going. I suppose, do you do this on hiking trails, or do you do this on normal, well, footpaths, I guess. So yeah, so it'd be around the Otley Ilkley area. So if you've got any suggestions, let me know. In the meantime, I think I'm going to be heading over Otley way, because last night, hence me looking a little bit tired, I stayed out at is it Elvington Forest. We went to the Druids, see the Druid Stones. So I probably might not stay out tonight. I'm a little bit tired, but we might just go out for sunset. If there is any, it's pretty grim, but we shall find out. It's all van life, it's all good. Let's get going, boots. Let's get going.